Welcome to the Seth Thibodeaux Show, featuring the head coach of the Nicholls State University baseball team, Seth Thibodeaux. Today's program is presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. The Seth Thibodeaux Show is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Hello and welcome to the Seth Thibodeaux Show presented by State Farm Insurance. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. We join you here for the final edition of our program here for 2013. In the locker room with us, the head coach of the Colonel Baseball program, Seth Thibodeaux. And Coach, I know you're already looking forward now to 2014.
Yes, we are. We have a very good nucleus of players coming back, and Coach Prothrow and our staff have done a great job of bringing in some big-time recruits for us that we feel like we can compete for a conference championship in 2014. So we're excited about it, and then 2014 starts right now.
Well, I know you don't want to, but we got to look at this past weekend, and then we'll close the book on 2013. Nicholls entered the final weekend of the regular season, trailing McNeese State by one game for the 8th and final berth in the Southland Conference Tournament. While the Cowboys hosted Southeastern Louisiana in a 3-game set, the Colonels headed out on the road to face Lamar. Taking a look at some of that footage from this past weekend, it turned out to be a very frustrating finish to a maddening season. Nicholls rallied late to defeat Lamar 3-1 on Thursday behind a complete game effort from senior right-hander Mike Sook. Tyler Duplantis registered 3 hits, including an RBI double. With McNeese falling to the Lions, the Colonels and Cowboys drew even, with Nicholls holding the tiebreaker and their own destiny in their hands. However, after jumping on the cards for 3 runs in the first inning on Friday, Nicholls dropped the contest by a 5-4 final as Lamar's bullpen did an outstanding job. Combined with a Cowboy victory, Nicholls again fell 1 game off the pace. So it all came down to Saturday, and Nicholls fell behind 4-1 after 2 innings, battled back to tie it in the 4th, but stranded the potential tying run in scoring position in a 6-5 loss. McNeese lost as well, but it just didn't matter as the Colonels finished their season 26-29 overall, 9-18 in conference play. And Coach, one game again from getting to the conference tournament. And I know it was a long bus ride home from Beaumont on a Saturday evening.
Yeah, and then you can look back, obviously, and think about several opportunities you had. And you know what? We worked really hard on making sure we can win that tight baseball game and working really hard on winning baseball games late in the game. And we didn't get it done there at the end, and that was a little frustrating. But, boy, we had some opportunities this weekend, and we had an opportunity to extend some leads or take the leads, and we never really got that big hit at the right time. And, boy, we played some good baseball. It was a heck of a series between us and Lamar right there, and we got a fine ball club coming back, and we're excited about what we can do with this club next year.
You look at the team, and it finished in 9th place, 18 conference losses, and to the outside looks like they're not very good. Half of those 18 conference losses by a single run. It's there for the taking. It's close.
It is very close. It's we're 9 runs away from being the number 1 seed in our conference tournament right now, and we need to understand that and play like we had some younger players that went through the wars of the conference schedule, and they get to understand it now, and they're all back next year. So that's exciting, but what we need to understand is when we have our opportunities, we need to take care of them, because literally and truly 9 conference losses by 1 run. We take our, we'll blame ourselves for that, but at the same time, we need to learn how to get that done. And again, we could be 18-9 right now talking about, opening night of the conference tournament as a 1 seed, and we're not quite there yet, but we sure aren't far away from being a conference champion.
No, you wind up losing 10 seniors. One of them, Nicholls outfielder Matt Richard, was named 3rd team All-Southland Conference. The LSU unit's transfer wrapped up his Nicholls career, hitting .290 this year, finishing the regular season with 21 stolen bases, good for 3rd in the Southland. He was 2nd on the club in hits with 61, including 10 doubles, 4 triples, and 2 home runs. Richard also with a .992 fielding percentage, which was 2nd on the team. He registered 5 outfield assists, including several late in the season. And Matt, that's a kid that represents the Colonel way of playing baseball.
There is no question that's what he is. And literally before the game, in the 55th game of the season on Saturday, I had to go up to him after he took BP, and he couldn't move. Pain everywhere, back problems, elbow problems, and groin problems. And he wasn't sure if he can go, and he said, "Coach, I'm not letting my team down. I'm going to play," with tears in his eyes. And he is everything anyone would ever want to coach. He is very deserving of everything he gets successful that comes his way, and I'll never forget his style and his play, and I would hope that our younger players, when they've watched him play, that's how they're going to play as well one day. And so he set the tone for what we want our teams to be like and what our players to play like. And playing hurt, playing dirty, playing with blood on his uniform, that was Matt Richard, and he should be truly honored for his coaching staff and the people that have been around Nicholls State University to look into him in that way.
His stats tailed off a little bit at the end of the year, battling through all those injuries. I just had a feeling coaches around the league, seeing him, watching him play, we're going to make sure he got on that ballot.
No question, and that's the reason he probably didn't steal 30 bases this year and lead the conference in stolen bases, and instead he was third. Because he couldn't move. He literally couldn't move, and he had to do so much treatment before and after games just so that he can play for 9 innings. And so there's no question that the coaches took, saw what he did and put him on that ballot. There's no question about it.
All right, Coach, we're going to talk a little bit more in a little bit, okay?
Sounds good.
We've got more coming up on the Seth Thibodeaux Show presented by State Farm Insurance, including a look around Nicholls Athletics. We'll also get a glance at the Colonel's spring recruiting class. Stay with us.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling. And it all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center. That ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you, and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and you know we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and you know it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
Hey Eddie, you have those ticket prices finalized yet? Alright, well I need those done by 5 at the latest. Alright, get to it.
We return with you on the Seth Thibodeaux Show presented by State Farm Insurance. We're coming up on the conclusion of the 2012-13 athletics year here at Nicholls. Ashley Dufresne takes us through some beginnings and endings.
Here at Nicholls State University, one program has gained a new leader, while another man who helped shape this institution is closing his chapter here after 10 years. Before he departs, he helped bestow ultimate honor on the newest class of Colonel graduates.
The Nicholls volleyball team is welcoming a new face to the program. New head coach Tommy Howard led the program at Loyola New Orleans for the past 10 years. Howard won nearly 65% of his matches and never had a losing season, as the Wolfpack ranked among the best clubs in the Southern States Athletic Conference. Howard hopes to lead the Colonels to the same kind of success.
Well, I'm excited to be here. I think this is a great school. I think this is a place that can be very successful. I think it's a wonderful gem of a school down on the bayou, not too far from home for me. Love South Louisiana, and the opportunity to work and to coach close to home is a great one. I think the kids here are excited. I think the facilities are in great shape, and I think the opportunity to be very successful in the conference is there.
While Howard gets started on the job, University President Dr. Stephen T. Hulbert is finishing out his decade-long tenure at the helm after presiding over numerous campus improvements and strict admission standards. Hulbert is widely credited with having been a stabilizing force at Nicholls during tumultuous times. He was also a staunch supporter of the athletic program.
Dr. Hulbert understands and has created an understanding, I think, within the university that athletics should be looked at as an asset and not a liability. And I'm not so sure that has always been the case. But he clearly sees that the way to strengthen the university is to strengthen its individual components. And one of those components is athletics.
During his time here at Nicholls, Dr. Hulbert and his wife Becky attended nearly every athletic event that their schedules would allow.
And in any given day, we can't necessarily go to every athletic event or every recital or art gallery showing or theater production or awards banquet, you name it. What you do is you divvy them up and try to get to as many of them as possible. And so yes, we tend to attend. I like baseball, I admit it. We like volleyball, basketball, and football. So we're there. Softball, we go to quite a bit. There's no question about it.
Of course, the Hulberts are happiest seeing the Colonels in their cap and gowns. On Saturday, 26 former and current student athletes earned their degrees, including football player Gerald Gruning, who at one point never imagined himself going to college.
Nichols has been where I've become the man I am today. I have a job now. I have opportunities I would have never had if I wouldn't have come to Nichols. I have friends that I have that I would have never even met if I wouldn't have played sports here and if I wouldn't have gone to school here. So Nichols has really been probably one of the most influential places or most influential thing in my life. I have become me at Nichols State University, and my ability to kind of grow here and the opportunities I had to grow here are incredible, and it's really been special for me, and it's really been something that I will be forever grateful for.
For the Seth Thibodeaux Show, I'm Ashley Dufresne.
Thank you, Ashley. It's now time to take a look at the Colonel Baseball Spring Recruiting Class. We bring in Associate Head Coach and Recruiting Coordinator Chris Prothro. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks, Wags.
Tell us about this recruiting class here. 5 JUCO players coming in addition to all the players you signed back in the fall. What's it going to look like coming up in 14 here?
We did well. We made it a point this year over the course of the entire year in the recruiting cycle to make sure we got some junior college players in. We did a great job last year of bringing in some freshmen, especially some in-state freshmen that we feel really good about still and felt really good about then. And we needed to add some older guys to that group to be able to move forward and do the things that we wanted to do.
Well, I want to take a look individually at each of the assignees here from the spring semester. Hailing from Chippewa College in Florida, Mark Frazier was a 47th round pick of the San Francisco Giants and was rated as a 50th JUCO prospect in the nation. According to Perfect Game, he's a right-handed pitcher. He can play the corner infield spots. Frazier sat out this year after undergoing Tommy John surgery, but should be healthy going into fall camp. It's always a little bit of a risk signing a kid coming off surgery, but you've got faith that he's on his way to recovery here.
Well, there's no doubt about it, and we know that Mark's going to be fine because of his character and his work ethic, and really and truly we signed him because of the impact that his bat's going to have, and we feel like he'll do his diligence in the rehab and the training room that he needs to do to get back and be healthy. And Mark was drafted as a third baseman. It just so happens when he's healthy on the mound, he can be up to 94 miles an hour, and that's kind of an added bonus. So if he gets back on the mound, great. If he doesn't, we feel like he's going to hit in the middle of our order and be able to provide quality defense on the corners in the infield.
While he won't be able to throw for a while, looks like he may even get some at-bats coming up this summer.
He is. He's going to start here in a couple of weeks and play some summer ball. He's been released to even play some first base this summer. Now, we've told him to really be careful with that. We don't want him to risk any injury or anything so late in the game in his rehab. But it'll be great for him to get some ABs and be ready to rock and roll when he gets here in the fall and win a position.
A middle infielder, Eagle Wuestney, a Phoenix City, Alabama native, built his name at Mississippi Delta Community College. He hit .331 this year with 10 doubles and 7 home runs, driving in 33 for the Trojans. What can you tell us about Eagle?
Well, Eagle's a hitter, and that's what he does. He gets in the box, and he's ready to go every time. Left-handed bat that's going to have a chance to hit really anywhere in our order. And he's athletic enough to play in the middle. He can play some third base. I think he can play some shortstop in a pinch, but he's probably a second baseman, an offensive second baseman that can run a little bit and really handle the bat, and he's got some grit and determination in his game, and he's what a throwback dirtbag type player that can really swing the bat, so we're excited about Eagle.
Phil Lyons has been entrenched in that position for a couple of years now. Do you see a battle brewing between
Absolutely.
those two?
I think that we've decided, and Coach Tibbs, our head coach, has decided that competition at every position is a good thing. And if you've got a lot of good players, then you got good problems. You know, competition at second will be great. Competition at short will be great. Competition throughout the depth chart is going to be great for us doing the things that we want to do next year.
Another power bat coming to Thibodeaux is Charles Morton of Meridian Community College in Mississippi. He batted .320 with 31 RBIs and 6 stolen bases and only 19 strikeouts all year for the Eagles. The Europa, Mississippi product could see time in both the infield and the outfield. How about this youngster?
Charles is a big, physical, athletic young man, and he's a left-handed hitter. Coach Tibbs, as you know, going through the years with him, is a guy that loves left-handed hitters, and he's a physical presence when he steps in the box. And He's also a physical presence that's pretty athletic. He can play on the corners in the outfield. He can play some first base. He's got some really good arm strength, and they even threw him on the mound this year at Meridian. He was one of their best lefties out of the pen. So he's versatile, but he's big and strong. He can be an impact bat. We want him to be able to come in and hit in the middle of the order and be a threat when he steps in the box every time.
Also joining the Colonels is 6'2" left-hander Stuart Holmes from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. He threw 44 2/3 innings as a starter, middle reliever, and closer. Finished up with a .484 earned run average, surrendering 54 hits with 25 walks and 38 strikeouts. He went 4-5 with 1 complete game. This is a guy that's pretty much pitched everywhere as far as roles are concerned. Where do you envision him on the Colonels?
Well, I think the best thing for Stuart is going to be when he comes in and has a specified role, and he knows what he's going to be expected of him, knows what he's going to do every time he comes out, because the stuff's going to play. He's in a mid-upper 80s lefty that has some control of the breaking ball, has some feel for the changeup. He has a chance to be an impact arm. We just got to figure out what's best for him and best for us, to where he can get comfortable in a certain role and have some success. But the stuff is going to play, and he's a fantastic young man. He's a fantastic student. He's above a 3.5 GPA. So we're very excited about figuring out what's best for him. But I would think as a starter, long reliever, he's going to have an impact next year right away.
And finally, we have Mike Hanshaw, a left-handed hurler from Iowa Western Community College, the number 2 ranked team in the nation right now. He's made 16 relief appearances, tossing 29 1/3 innings, surrendering 29 hits with 10 walks and 30 strikeouts. It's more than 1 per inning. He's 4-0 with a 4.60 earned run average. This kid comes from a winning program, and that always helps.
They won the national championship his freshman year, and he was a horse for him that year. He was a starting pitcher for him, and that's what we expect him to do this year. I think what they found as coming off a national championship, they did a great job of recruiting, and they had a lot of different arms, so they had a lot of different roles for guys. And one thing that their coaches kept saying is that we're trying some things with these other younger guys that we have, and we know we've got Mike to fall back on, and they trusted him out of the pen because he's going to throw strikes. He's going to be 84 to 87 miles an hour. He's going to be able to work 3 pitches, and he's going to do that every time. Well, it just so happens he's 6'5", and he's doing that, creating a good downhill angle. And we feel like over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, and Wags, you can say that as well, is those guys tend to pitch on the weekend in the Southland Conference, those lefties that are big, tall, that throw strikes. And Mike is a fantastic young man as well. He's going to major in math when he gets here. He's got like a 3.8 GPA. So good character, good work ethic, and good stuff on the mound for sure.
Take a look at what you have to replace. You're replacing 2 weekend starters. You're replacing a closer, a middle reliever who really saw a lot of innings toward the end of the year. You're starting catcher. You're starting center fielder. You're starting right fielder. I think I covered it all.
Absolutely.
This is a lot of turnover for one season. Do you feel comfortable with the guys on your team now who have been waiting in the wings, or do you feel like a lot of these recruits are going to see some immediate time out there?
We feel good about what we've got coming back and what we've got coming in, and it's going to be a dogfight at every position. And I think if you look at the good teams in our league, you look at the good teams in any league, in any sport, it's never a bad thing to have a lot of good players on your team, a lot of talented players. And that competition that's going to start in the fall when they get here in the weight room and in the conditioning that we do is going to set us up for success on the field. Because, yes, we've got guys who can play, but we've got to get guys who can play the Colonel way. And we're going to roll them out there, and whoever the best man's going to win, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens.
All right, Coach, keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, Wax.
Associate head coach and recruiting coordinator Chris Prothro joining us here. We'll be back with Coach Tibb here on the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by State Farm Insurance, right on the other side of these messages.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling, and it all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center that ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and you know we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and you know it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
Welcome back to the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by State Farm Insurance. It's time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week Award, sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Either you're local or you're not. Rouse's Supermarkets are local, with their roots established in Thibodeaux in 1923. Trust Rouse's for great food and great values. Louisiana's best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week, it's infielder Tyler Duplantis. The Thibodeaux native went 5 for 9 in the Lamar series with a double and an RBI while playing an outstanding third base. He led the Colonels this year with a .330 batting average and will be returning as a senior next season. Congratulations to Tyler. Our final segment here on this season of the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by State Farm Insurance. And Coach, now we start looking ahead to 2014 here. Tell us a little bit about what your expectations are.
Well, first of all, we'll talk about Tyler Duplantis and who's going to be a big-time leader for this team. And he's going to provide so much more than leadership, obviously, but it's what he does, and what he does is what I would like all of our players to emulate their game around, and their student, what they do in the classroom as well. A 3.0 student, a young man who watches film every single day, a young man who takes extra ground balls between classes and takes extra swings in the cages before classes and works out every day. There's a reason he hit .330 in this league, and it's a shame that he's not on the all-conference list, but that's just going to fuel him up a little bit. But going off of him, we've got some guys coming back that we're excited about. Leo Vargas has a chance to do some things, and we need Phillip Lyons back, rolling again, and we've got a couple other guys on the mound that I'm excited about, some younger freshmen on the mound. Justin Sinibaldi, we look forward to seeing what he can do, and Zach Thiak and Grant Bourne. Really excited about his freshman year and what he can bring to the table next year. And I'm excited about Seth Stevens as well, another freshman left-handed hitter who I think put on about 10 or 15 pounds of muscle this summer, has a chance to be a really good hitter in this league. So we have a great nucleus, and we have some fantastic young men coming into our program, some really, really, really talented young men, both on and off the field. Not one guy is an academic issue. There's no question marks this summer. So that says a lot about, we continue to bring in really good players, really good students, and really good first-class young men who are going to play the Colonel way every single day, and we're excited about it. And we have not met our expectations in the last couple of years, and we're going to meet them, and we're going to train very hard, and we're going to get bigger and faster and stronger, and we're going to be physical. There's no reason for us to be 17-11 in non-conference play. And on the flip side of that, we're totally opposite in conference play, and it's against the same type of teams. Having all this success against UL Lafayette and South Alabama and Tulane, and always having winning records against the state of Louisiana, and continuing to play great baseball in midweek baseball games, and we just need to work on our consistency. And it's part of building the program. We are not building to just be a solid club. We are building to win the Southland Conference, and we are very motivated about where we're going to be at this time next year, and we're really looking forward to the opportunities. And like I told you yesterday, Wags, I wish we could start the season tomorrow, because I'm hungry for it. My coaches are hungry for it, and we're excited about it. We got a great schedule coming up next season.
But you mentioned the competitiveness in the state of Louisiana this year. You swept McNeese. You take 2 out of 3 from Northwestern State. UL Lafayette is going to the NCAAs. You win a game against them. You beat South Alabama. They're going to the NCAAs, it would appear. And 2 games very competitive against LSU, one of the top-ranked teams in the nation and a national title contender. Again, non-conference and conference, 2 separate stories this year, and it really gives you some hope going forward.
There's so much we've done in the last few years that hasn't been done here in a long time. And it's just patience, and it's making sure that we do everything right, which is important to me, and it's important to me because it's important to Nichols. And we've got so much potential here, and so many good things are happening for us. And now it's time, though. It's time to make that championship run, and not just make a run at trying to get into the postseason. It's time to get there and make some things happen and do the things we know we can do.
Well, baseball is different from every other sport intercollegiately in that your players get to go through the summer and play organized baseball. They get to play organized competition in summer leagues throughout the country. Where are some of the spots your players are heading to over this summer?
We've got guys going from the West Coast to the East Coast, and we've got guys in the Midwest. We've got guys in Canada like Zach Thiak and Tyler Duplantis are up in Canada, and we've got Brandon Jackson's up in the Northwoods League as well, in Mankato, and we've got Taylor Bird going up to the Northwoods League, and Grant Bourne's going to be in the Northwoods League. Leo Vargas, Alex Tucker are going to be out in the the 4 West League out in San Luis Obispo, California, playing some great baseball out there. We've got guys in the Texas Collegiate League, guys here in Louisiana playing over in Lafayette for the Acadiana Cane Cutters. We've got guys in Kansas and Missouri and Iowa, and the list goes on and on and on, and it's some great leagues. And man, like I told each one of them in their meetings, I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat to go play some 60 summer baseball games with wood in my hand and just be able to play the game and work on your game. It's important that you play. It's important for our hitters to get at-bats. And the more at-bats guys get, the better they are. And they struggle or the successes, whatever it may be, that's how you get better at this game, and they need to see good arms all summer long.
We take a look at 2014 now, and tell us a little bit about how the schedule is building up here.
We've got an exciting schedule, as you know. I like opening up on the road, and we're going to open up at the University of Houston, who may have their best team they've had in the last 10 years. They're a very talented club who I think is going to open up the season in the top 25 next year. So we're going to go there and open up in a hostile environment, which is exciting. But we don't care about that. We're excited to play someone that's good, and we're going to be hungry for that. And then we're going to have weekend 2, an exciting weekend in New Orleans. And I'm looking this far ahead. I know the weather's going to be perfect at that time in February, but we've got some teams coming in from Illinois, Western Illinois, Eastern Illinois, Southern Illinois, St. Louis University out of Missouri is coming down. We're going to merge with UNO and have a really good early season tournament there at Zephyr Field. What an exciting time to have it, and we'll actually host the first game here against Western Illinois on that Thursday night. So, and that's the second weekend of the season, and then we still have one weekend to fill, but we have BYU coming in for the 4th weekend of the season for a 4-game series. That's going to be pretty neat. And so we're going to have those guys, and then conference starts up, and we had UNO and Houston Baptist to the mix, and that's exciting. So our schedule sets up really good for us to make a nice run. There's no long trips. There's some trips that are very manageable, so we're excited about what we have coming in.
Not only UNO and Houston Baptist, but Incarnate Word out of San Antonio and Abilene Christian University are joining the league as well. We've got about a minute left in the program here. How do you see the Southland Conference shaping up going forward with those additions?
I think we'll make some adjustments to a few things, and I'm looking forward to getting together with the head coaches in our summer meeting. And I feel like, there's some things to talk about. I can't speak for the whole league, but the word division is going to come up, and having 2 divisions, and we have 14 teams now, so travel is going to be an issue, but it easily can be split in half, and so it's good to have another Louisiana team in there as well, and we're excited about that. So it's going to be a challenging schedule, but we're going to discuss so many things this summer, and you may see a few changes here with certain things and travel, and some teams not playing others, so there's going to be some change.
Whatever comes our way, can't wait till February.
That's right, exactly.
Head coach Seth Thibodeaux, thanks so much. Folks, that's going to do it for this season of the Seth Thibodeaux Show. We want to thank State Farm Insurance and Rouse's, and, of course, our crew here, Ashley Dufresne and Pamela Johnson. We will talk to you during football season, folks. It's not that far away. Have yourself a great summer.
Today's show has been presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.